Okay, there's a dangerous trend booming on the internet, and I finally decided where I wanted to start with my commentary. There is this evil notion on the internet that having a life without children makes your life better or makes you a better person because you are living a life without children. If you know anything about me, watch my videos, read my blog, know me personally, you know that the last thing I'm proud of is the fact that I'm a single income, no kids person. I have tried for many years without success to find somebody with whom to share my life. I have proposed to four women. One of them said no. The other three said no. Well, one of them said no immediately. The other three said no sometime later. And so I am here in spite of my best efforts rather than because of them. But is this group of individuals on the internet, influencers, who are out there preaching the evil notion to not reproduce. It's really funny for me because even though I'm in the chemistry department, I also teach a general biology course in which we talk about all of the facets that lead up to cell division. And the course culminates in meiosis, mitosis. And I tell my students when we get to that point, the ultimate point of life is for the cell to make a copy of itself. That's everything else that we teach them, all the cell processes, the organelles, all of the facets and tenets of life, the chemical processes are all driven around making a copy of oneself. And then there's these people out there teaching you, well, they're defying biology and they have an agenda. I don't know exactly what it is, but it is not in your best interest because granted, I don't know anybody I want to share my life with, but I also don't think I want to be alone for the rest of my life and not have anyone there that was ever of any importance to me whatsoever. But let's listen to what this woman has to say and then we'll comment on it.
10:45 a.m. on a Saturday. I am 29 and single and I don't have kids yet. Here's what you're
Okay. Pay attention to how many times she talks about how she doesn't have kids yet.
Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29.
Okay, I was also single at 29. Let me think about how my days were. I was working here. Saturdays when I was 29, I was taking women with me to Red Rock National Conservation Energy on hikes, trying to find a woman who was interested in the things I was interested in and who liked me so I could build a life.
And you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15.
Okay, in order to go hiking and get a parking spot at Red Rock, I had to get up on Saturday mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out. And I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why I was in bed for so long. And I was just scrolling on my phone and I saw a picture of shakshuka and I thought, you know what sounds really good? Maybe I'm going to learn how to make shakshuka today.
Okay, I've never had shakshuka, but it's not that hard to make, apparently. I did a little bit of research on the internet, and it's basically... Oh, and it's a dish that you make to share with guests. So she's alone, has no guests, and she's going to make a dish that is made in that country to share with guests. Make that make sense. Also, nobody's making you? Well, nobody made me get up and hike either. I made myself, because at 29, I wasn't naturally pretty, because I've never been naturally pretty, let's face it. You see this ugly mug. Yeah, shakshuka. It sounds exotic. It's the ratatouille of their culture.
I have no plans and I don't have kids and I don't have a husband and I
don't have kids.
Don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of...
Wow. She's so ambitious. She's going to learn to make shakshuka and rewatch Real Housewives of New York. Well, that's marriage material behavior right there.
Real Housewives of New York. I'm also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend.
Oh, and she watches spicy content. I didn't notice that until this viewing of this video. She recommends that you watch something that's racy. Oh, yeah.
And weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries, so I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all...
Oh, that's a real stacked day. So let me tell you about my Saturdays when I was 29. I'd get up at 6 o'clock, meet up with people. We'd drive probably 40 miles to the hiking trail. We would hike anywhere from 2 to 10 miles. Yeah, that's a pretty stacked day.
This to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I
don't have kids counter.
Kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you wouldn't
want to do anything else this Saturday besides make a dish and binge watch, rewatch series you've already seen? Wow, I can think of a lot of things I'd rather do.
All these things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to really pays off when I'm hard on myself for not being where society tells me I should be in life.
Okay, where society tells me I should be in life. She's bragging about how she's able to do all this other stuff because she doesn't have kids. She goes to concerts, makes dishes, and binge watches movies. Does this sound like a life worth emulating to you? I mean, maybe you don't feel my life is worth emulating. I'm a college professor who, on the weekend, I work for the Forest Service. Now I go up there and I hike for a job instead of as a way to meet girls, I guess, and make friends. And then I travel. I spent 2 weeks in Europe, Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Austria, and Eastern Germany to get some exposure to their cultures, to learn about the people, to spend some money there, to spend some time, to see how they celebrate Christmas. This woman is entirely focused on and obsessed with herself. This isn't even recording, is it? Anyway, I don't know. This is not a life to be bragging about. This is a life that I would be embarrassed to do. I'm embarrassed when I spend days like that. I spent one of the days this past weekend, Martin Luther King holiday weekend, basically watching TV while I cleaned the blinds in my house. Now, granted, I also cleaned the blinds in my house. I didn't make shakshuka. Did I make? I just had leftovers. Anyway, but I didn't really do anything substantive. I didn't do anything brag-worthy. I did a chore. Did she ever talk about chores? No one's making me do it. Nobody makes me clean the blinds. Nobody makes me do anything. Nobody lives there. And I don't put stuff off because I don't have kids, and I'm not doing it because I don't have kids and I've got extra time. I'd have to do this if I had kids. My mom admitted she only cleans them once a year. It's like, oh, I don't feel so bad. Cleaning mine every 2 years since I live by myself. I'm not proud that I don't have kids. Now, I have a lot of money because I don't have kids and a woman, and I'm able to go to Europe every year if I want to because I don't have kids and a woman. But that wasn't the goal. I didn't sit down and go, okay, I don't want to have kids and a wife because I want to be able to go out and do whatever the hell I want whenever I want. Stay out whenever I want and be irresponsible, because this is not the attitude of a wife. This is the attitude of a teenage girl. And teenage girls are never happy. Does she look happy to you? She says she's happy. This is a great still because it's about as unhappy as she looks in the video. Does she look happy? No. But I had a good time in Europe. I was alone. I didn't live stream it and brag about it. And I'll make some videos about it because I want to pass on some things I learned. But that's for edification. It's not to brag about, oh, look at the cool places I went without you. Because truth be told, I wish there was somebody with whom I wanted to spend and share my life. I am here because there isn't anybody. I'm a single income, no kids, because women who I like don't like me, and the women who like me don't like me for me. They like me because they want access to my resources. They want to go to Europe, not because they want to be an addition to my experience, but because they want to go to Europe for themselves. Here's how I know that's true. The last time I took a woman somewhere, it's been some years now, almost 10 years now, I took her to Cathedral Gorge, which is in the mid-central Nevada, and she studied for a class on the way up and slept on the way back. There was never any conversation, and all the pictures she shared to the internet were pictures that I shot of her by herself, as if to give the impression that somehow she got herself to Cathedral Gorge, and she said, look at this cool place I went to. There was no mention of me getting her there, giving her the idea, making it possible. And there was no thank you or appreciation for it whatsoever. This is the woman I find, and that's why I'm single. It's not to brag. This woman has a brand. Let's not pretend this is the only video she has. This is just the famous viral one that's super boring. and super cringy because she says shakshuka a lot and she says I don't have any kids a lot. She's pushing a narrative and pushing a brand, and lots of people watch her. I don't know, I'll get like 30 views on this video. And it's okay. I don't care. I got it out there. I did what I could do. The rest is up to you. I said it. If you don't hear it, that's up to you. This woman is telling people what they want to hear because you can tell by the views, most people prefer comforting lies to uncomfortable truths. I'm telling you the truth. I don't like where I am. I've tried to change it. Women don't want to participate. They would rather be dual income, no kids, or single income, no kids, and brag about how awesome they are so they can get views and likes and subscriptions and make money. Instead, I got a real job, and I do this on the side. I don't think I'll ever make any money from this, and if not, it's okay, because I did what I could do to spread the truth, and the truth is there is something terribly wrong with this country. You should do something about it. Godspeed, make good decisions. If you have a family, cherish it. If you want a family, go after it. And if you get one, thank God for it. And thank God that you've learned to not be this woman, because she's leading you down a path that cannot and will not ever give you true satisfaction out of life. The whole purpose of life is to make a copy of yourself. And I'm doing the best I can, since I can't reproduce, at least not without the help of a woman, to help you copy what I know and pass it on, because that's all that's in my power. Anyway, Godspeed, make good decisions, and hopefully 2024 treats you well.